keep coming. Okay. As usual, we'll start with our mantra. Thank you, Dr. Charak, for being here. Om सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Yes, Dr. Charak, I will just make you a co-host as well. We'll get started. So, welcome everyone. Welcome, Dr. Charak, and thank you for being here. Welcome, Vinay Aditya ji, for being here with us. And hello, Saurav. We are here gathered today to be able to talk about Mahakumbh, which is a Mahakumbh which is coming up in January, I think starting from the 8th or the 10th. And we are having a Jyotish conference over there. Like say Jyotish courses, a session of teaching by Dr. Charak and the Vinay Aditya ji and the Sunil Sharma ji will be there. And there is a lot of curiosity among people to know what is Mahakumbh, is to start with what the Mahakumbh is all about. And we do like people to be participating in that. There is a lot of interest among people to get there, but at the same time there is a lot of curiosity to know what exactly it is, how significant it is, and all that. So we requested Dr. Charak to be able to give us a more highlight upon that one. And so that is where we are. If you want to know more information about it, you can always go to Arsh Jyotish. I will quickly share the screen to be able to walk you through. And okay, so I will just open up over here and I will share this screen to walk you through. So this is what we are talking about, astrology at Mahakumbh tour. It's happening between, so we are talking about as a tour. So the course is there. At the same time, you get the glimpse of Mahakumbh and be able to participate in this. The mystic journey is actually facilitating this, all of this information. So people will be able to get benefited as a part of tour. So if you are visiting India, and so you can be picked up from the Delhi itself. And this is how the itinerary looks like. You will be able to pick up from the Delhi itself, and then you can go to the Prayagraj and attend the conference. And then you can always participate in some of the Kumbh activities over there and be able to get benefited with the ritual which happens over there. And that this talking about the day 10, 11, 12, and so there are activities happening for those days. And then 16. So this is the small tool which we are talking about. Following the Jyotish part, there is also a Ayurveda wellness. There is a research going on from Dr. Charak, and Dr. Charak will also be talking about that in terms of what exactly will be covered in that wellness session, as well as how it is going to benefit some of the patients which are passing through some kind of a chronic disease and can get benefited with that Ayurveda wellness, and again, lot of medical astrology part as well. This is what it is. So you can always, about the Ayurveda, if you have to go in wellness, this is where we have a lot of information. Just following the Jyotish session, there will be an Ayurveda tour also going on. This will be for another 6-7 years. Prominent teachers will be speaking about it. We can ask questions to Dr. Charak as well, who they are, what their research is all about. It's just following from the 10th of January, goes till 20th of January is what we are talking about. These are few of the guest speakers over here, very renowned people from Bangalore, where Dr. Charak has a keen interest to be able to bring it to the people. So this is how it is. Now let's get started with talking to Dr. Charak about Mahakumbh. So, welcome, Dr. Charak, once again. And we are here to be able to get started to know about like what exactly the Mahakumbh is all about. What is so unique about this? Why do you think it's such a significant event for even for the astrological perspective?
Thank you so much. Uh, there is a lot that is said about Mahakumbh. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
there are four different places in India where the Mahakumbh Mela takes place. And the two important places are Prayagraj and Haridwar. Uh, Mahakumbh Mela is considered to be, uh, you know, the people who participate in that. This coincides with the largest human gathering on earth. It is millions of people who throng to this place over a period of something like 6 to 8 weeks. And this happens uh, once in 12 years at each place. The I think the story goes back to the uh, the ancient Puranas, where there is a mention about the churning of the ocean. Kumbh literally means a pitcher. So during the churning of the ocean, Lord Dhanvantri, uh, who is considered to be the god of medicine, he appeared with a pitcher full of Amrit, or the elixir of life, and this was then distributed amongst the gods. Of course, the demons were deprived of that uh, opportunity, but the story goes that far. Although the term Kumbh Mela is not mentioned in the old Puranas, but there is a lot that is mentioned about uh, Prayagraj, where this current Kumbh Mela is going to happen. And Prayagraj is a place where uh, three streams are supposed to meet. One is the Ganga, the other is the Yamuna, and the third one, which is no longer there in existence now, uh, that is Saraswati. So it is considered that there's a question about what is the meaning of Kumbh. Kumbh actually means, the literal meaning is a pitcher. So Lord Dhanvantri came out of the uh, ocean during the churning of the ocean with a pitcher full of Amrita, or elixir of life. Uh, so, uh, but there is a lot of uh, merit and a spiritual merit which is attributed to a bath in the Ganga, and especially uh, at the place where the Ganga meets the Yamuna. Uh, Kurukshetra, is another place of pilgrimage, and it is said that a bath anywhere in Ganga is equal in its purificatory effect to a visit to Kurukshetra. But when you bathe in Ganga, which is close to the Vindhya mountains, then the merit is 10 times. When Ganga, take a bath in Ganga at Kashi or Varanasi, then you add the merit 100 times more. And when it joins Yamuna at Prayagraj, the merit becomes still 100 times more. So you can understand that the greatest merit is attributed to a bath in the Ganga, where it joins the Yamuna, and that is called as Sangam. Sangam means a union of two rivers, two or more rivers, and a small segment of Ganga, it proceeds westward to join Yamuna, and that area is considered to be much more uh, effective in its spiritual merit when you take a bath in that. And the Kumbh is a time when you go there and you participate in the rituals and take a bath in the Ganga, and it is considered to be a purificatory uh, and a very auspicious sort of occasion. Now, we have four different places where Kumbh takes place. Uh, Prayagraj is, of course, one, and here uh, the actual date is the Maghi Amavasya, which means that Amavasya that falls in the month of Magh. Magh is a month which is the 10th month in the Indian system, and the sun is in the 10th sign, sidereal sign. Sun goes to Makar, and uh, when the sun is in Makar, and uh, it's the Amavasya, and Jupiter is in Taurus, because all these festivals in India, the traditional festivals, they have some sort of an astronomical background. So, sun has to be in Makar, Jupiter in Vrishab or Taurus, and the Amavasya day is considered to be the main point of main time when the Kumbh is supposed to occur. But the actual bathing starts right when the sun enters Makar, which is around the 13th or 14th of January every year. And people even start, gathering there even before that. And in fact, our program is before the actual, just we are doing it from 4th to 10th of January, and the actual the uh, standard ritual will start from the 13th. Uh, so we have done it a little, earlier, but then many people start thronging there much before the actual Kumbh dates, and it is considered that it is quite meritorious to visit that place and you know take part in the activities. The other place where the Kumbh takes place is Haridwar, where Kumbh occurs when uh, it is Mesh Sankranti, which means the sun is in Mesh, or something around 13th of April, and Jupiter is in Kumbh Rashi. So the actual uh, process starts right when the sun enters Makar, but then uh, it occurs that this Kumbh occurs uh, during that year when the Jupiter's position in Kumbh Rashi can coincide with Sun in Mesha. So if Jupiter is in Kumbh Rashi, but it leaves the Rashi before Sun enters Mesh, then that year the Kumbh is not, Kumbh doesn't take place. So you have to have Jupiter in Kumbh Rashi at the time of Mesha Sankranti, but then the Kumbh starts in January on the 13th or 14th when Sun enters uh, Makar. The third place where Kumbh takes place is Ujjain, and uh, this is when this is Sinhas Jupiter, which means that Jupiter is in the Sinha Rashi and Sun in May. So, and the actual Kumbh date is the Vaishak, uh, Vaishak Purnima, which means that the uh, it should be in Sinha Rashi and then uh, Mesh Rashi for the Sun. And Nasik is the fourth place, which again is Sinhas Kumbh, but that occurs when the Sun and Jupiter are both in Sinha. So these are the four places. And the out of these four, the two places are most important. One is Prayagraj and the other is Haridwar, where the actual Kumbh takes place once in 12 years. And then there is also an Ardha Kumbh, which takes place every 6 years. So if you are having a Maha Kumbh uh, in January 25, then 6 years later, there'll be an Ardha Kumbh also at Prayagraj. So this is these are the four places where uh, the Kumbh festival is held. And Prayagraj, of course, is considered to be the most important. And it is said that the Ganga is one of the most sacred rivers. It originates at the feet of Lord Vishnu and then proceeds to the head of Lord Shiva. And Ganga descended from the heaven. It was brought down by Bhagirath, who was a king whose ancestors uh, were charged to death uh, due to the curse of a sage, and he wanted to, purify their, souls and wanted to do the last rites. But then 60,000 of them had died, and they could not be transported to the earth from the Patala world. So Ganga was brought from the heavens to uh, purify the dead and relieve their souls. Um, so Prayag is a place which is considered to be uh, the most important, and uh, a bath in the Ganga when the sun enters Makar is considered to be uh, most auspicious and most purifying. And it is said that the people who are supposed to visit uh, the Prayagraj site where the Ganga and Yamuna meet during the month when sun is in Makar. They include Lord Brahma, Vishnu, Mahadev, Rudra, Aditya, Marudgan, Gandharvas, Lokpalas, Yakshas, Kinnars, all the celestial beings, several enlightened souls, and also the various enlightened ladies like the wife of Brahma, uh, Brahmani we call her, Parvati, Lakshmi, Shachi, who is the wife of Indra, Aditi, Rati, and the wives of gods and Nagas. They are supposed to be there. They visit there uh, during uh, this Kumbh. And it is said that during the Satya Yoga or Chitta Yoga, there, these yogas are uh, great eras which extend to hundreds of thousands of years. So in Chitta Yoga or Satya Yoga, these people used to visit in person. And in Kali Yuga, which is the era right now, they are supposed to, you know, uh, remain hidden from the other people, but then they do visit this place, and therefore there's a lot of uh, importance attached to this particular festival. Any any queries that you want to?
Yeah. So, Dr. Charak, there is a Maha Kumbh which we are talking about. So, this astronomical event which is happening as a Maha over here, what is the significance of that? Is it?
Mahakumbh, you see, the this place is sacred always, and
Mhm.
every year the sun would go to Makar, and that month people go and take a bath there. But once in 12 years, uh, it has a much greater significance. And there is a significance of uh, not only Magha or sun in Makar, but also when the sun is in Mesh or in Tula. So at that time also, those months are also considered to be sacred. But that happens every year. But this once in 12 years, because this is related to the position of Jupiter. So Jupiter is in Taurus for Kumbh at Prayag. Jupiter is in Kumbh for this Kumbh Mela at Haridwar. Jupiter is in Simha for Ujjain and Nasik. So it is basically the correlation of the position of the Sun and and Jupiter. So these are considered to be auspicious times. So these are the times when it is called as Mahakumbh. And then, of course, Ardha Kumbh only at Prayagraj and Haridwar.
It's more of a powerful time for the people to be around there.
Yeah.
Dr. Charak, may I ask you a question, please? This is
Go
Milind
ahead,
Desai.
Go ahead.
Dr. Charak, is this anything to do with like Saturn is in a Kumbh right now? And is that why they say it like Mahakumbha? Because Sun is in a Makar and Saturn, and every 30 years it comes back in a Kumbh Rasi. It has anything to do with Mahakumbha?
Saturn has no role in this. No, it is Jupiter and Sun.
No. Jupiter and Sun. Okay.
Yeah, because you see, we'll have another Kumbh in 12 years. For example, 25 we are going having this, and 37 there will be another Kumbh. But Saturn will be nowhere close by.
All right.
So, so Dr. Charak, now we will focus more towards the Jyotish conference itself. So, to talk more about, so what is the focus of the Jyotish session, which is getting conducted, and the pretty much the glimpse of what do you think you will be teaching, and Vinayji and the Dr. Sunil Sharma ji will be looking
Sunil
into this.
Sharma.
Sunil Sharma.
You see, we have been earlier conducting uh, astrology courses of a week-long duration, and we used to label them as astrology in the Himalaya.
Yes.
And we used to have a week-long course in some peripheral area in the mountains where there is, solitude and silence, and you
Yeah.
could uh, you could study very well, and a small group they would be able to interact together, and you were there all the time, so you could be, talking about Jyotish all the time within the group. So that is what we used to do earlier, and Rajiv Tomar of the Mystical
Mystic
Journeys,
Dance.
he used to organize that. Even this one is also being organized by him,
Mm-hmm.
and of course Meenakshi is a part of it. So we thought that Kumbh is a very auspicious moment. So and is happening at a very auspicious place. So this year we thought that we should have uh, an astrology program at the site of the Kumbh. So we have picked up a place right on the bank of the Ganga where Rajiv Tomar has he joined us? Is he there?
I have not seen him, but we have sent him the
No,
invite.
he was supposed to join, but he's probably traveling. He's actually
Yeah, I
uh,
know.
he's
Especially
traveling
the big
to
event coming up. He must be pretty busy.
yeah, yeah, he's traveling to the Kumbh site only.
Mm-hmm.
So he's organizing it. So we thought that this is a good time and a good place, and we would all be happy there to, it is always good to visit Kumbh because where, you get hundreds of thousands of people. You can only uh, see it before you can believe it. You have to see it to believe it. The the devotion, the uh, the attitude of the people, the spiritual inclination of the people, and so on. So we thought that this would be a good place to discuss the subject of Jyotish, and we have actually framed it in the same manner as we used to do astrology in the Himalaya, where we used to have 7 days of astrology with intervening one day devoted to some sort of yajna or havana or visit to some sacred place. So we have done that, uh, planned it this way here only. And earlier, I used to be there, Vinay Aditya used to be there, and Shri Jain Sharma used to be there. So Jain Sharma is no longer there now. Uh, we have got Sunil Sharma now, and he's heading the East Delhi branch of Indian Council of Astrological Sciences. So he would be joining us, and he would be teaching a subject which actually I have not yet ventured into. That is the Nadi Jyotish, but it's a very interesting subject, and he would be dealing with this. Uh, if Vinayji can speak about what he is going to talk about, that will be great. But he's, I think, primarily concentrating on the uh, the subtle points of Ashtakvarga, Sarvashtakvarga, and Prastarak Ashtakvarga, and so on, and also principles of Gochar as applicable to Ashtakvarga. And then I think he's also uh, going into some of the subtle aspects of dasha interpretation, which uh, uh, standard principles, and then uh, what he says as unknown or hitherto unused principles of Vishotri dasha usage, and Tara Vichar and Vargas and so on. So that would be quite a uh, you know nice area to deal with. As far as I am concerned, my uh, area would be, I have chosen two areas. One is medical astrology, and the other is the Prashna. And in medical astrology, we have discussed earlier, also discussed many principles of medical astrology. But this time, I am going to uh, concentrate on some of the uh, key areas which are which we have not elaborated yet, either in my books or in my lectures earlier. Uh, Principles which help you to identify uh, the vulnerable charts, not the simple principles of benefic in the kendras and triconas and malefics in the 3, 6, 11, and so on, but something more advanced. And uh, also concentrate on uh, areas which would deal with the uh, with our a weak area we have, which is diagnosis of illness, and that area I'm going to stress on more strongly, because ultimately it is not just the timing of illness and the outcome, but also the diagnosis. So that area, and using the Vargas uh, more extensively and more carefully, uh, some special adverse points which are there in the horoscope which make certain individuals more susceptible and certain dashas more ominous. Uh, and then, some uh, advanced things about Rinshansha and other charts. So these are the areas which I'm planning to deal with in medical astrology. In the Prashna charts, we will deal with mainly this thing will be based on the teachings of Sri J.N. Sharma. So uh, Prashna or horary astrology actually becomes more useful when uh, you don't have the birth chart available, or you're not certain about your birth time, and you have a specific question in your mind for which you are seeking the answer, but you don't have the horoscope. So uh, that is a very important area, and there are certain areas which it is difficult to you know uh, clarify on the basis of your birth charts. Like you have lost something, or somebody has left home and he's not being traced, and so on. So a missing person, a lost object, questions about profession and career, which are more easily answered when you put a query to the astrologer. Relationships, marriage, and so on. So these are the two main areas that I'm going to deal with. Vinayji, I don't know if he wants to comment about what he's going to
Yeah,
teach. That's
Vinayji is
great.
here. I think he can speak.
Yes. Um, I would be dealing with two subjects, as Dr. Charak has just mentioned. One would be Ashtakvarga, and the other would be chart analysis with special emphasis on Dasha application. And I would assume that most people know the simple principles of Dashas. Of course, we are also going to cover them, but that would be probably in a hurry. But something which is more substantial and much more useful are the special techniques associated with the Vishwatri Dasha application that I would be taking up. In Ashtakvarga, I would be talking about the philosophy of Ashtakvarga, which is very different from the philosophy of all other kinds of work on the horoscope. I will not burden you with the calculation part of it, because it's slightly involved and it is prone to error if you do it manually. But fortunately, in today's times, we have practically every software of astrology who gives you correct Ashtakvarga calculations. So we'll just mention the technique of how it is calculated, but we will not waste time and burden you with the actual calculations. And the next part, having got the figures uh, through those calculations, the main part is how to use them. So there would be sufficient stress on how to use them. And there would be two aspects of that. One is the Sarvashtak Varga, how to use that. And then there would be Bhinnashtak Varga that is to be used. And when there are different bindus with different planets and different houses, etc., what do they mean and how to extract maximum information from the horoscope with the help of Ashtak Varga. So those are the two topics that I'm going to do. About the general Kumbh, Dr. Charak has given a very good outline, but I must give you my first-hand experiences, personal experiences. I've been fortunate in my life to have visited the Kumbh two times, and both were phenomenal experiences for me. And I came to a conclusion that we do not know India unless we visit a Kumbh. A Kumbh Mela gives a showcase of the soul of India, the common people, the poor people. Those are the ones who have upheld the tradition, and not so much the educated elite. And you would see the force of uh, faith embedded in tradition. And unless you see it yourself, Dr. Charak also said that, you won't believe it. There were so many aspects of the Kumbh Mela that uh, came in front of me, and those were very big eye openers to a city dweller like myself. That what happens in our villages and how people relate to spiritual matters in their own lives. And of course, the gathering is absolutely phenomenal. The numbers are mind-boggling. Yet the arrangements are such, at least the two Kumbh Melas that I saw, the arrangements were very good. The standards of cleanliness were better than what we normally have in our villages. So everything at a grand scale. How does humanity react to those things? And these have been continuing for a long time. I also think that the tradition of Kumbh Mela was probably founded when there was no method of uh, communication, appropriate communication. There was no social media. So, how do people exchange ideas? How do people discuss philosophies? How do people compare and contrast two philosophies or five philosophies or 10 philosophies and then imbibe them in their lives? So, uh, it was decided that every 6 years or every 12 years, there would be people's gatherings with the saints, with the wise people, with the yogis, and who would impart that knowledge over a period of a couple of months. So it would be a kind of a grand conference with a lot of teachers and a lot of learners uh, being present here there. What we are going to do, it would be a sort of a microscopic level, what we would also experience when we go near the rivers at the macroscopic levels. So we would be concentrating mainly on Jyotish, and of course, Dr. Charak is also organizing something related to Ayurveda. And if we have time and if we have the inclination of the participants, we may be able to discuss some correlations between Ayurveda and Jyotish. In fact, there is a crying need of connecting the two. I have heard that in earlier times, the Ayurveda Acharya or the Vaidya knew Jyotish, at least preliminary Jyotish, so that he could understand the prakriti of the person through astrology as well as through the Nadi Parikshana. But nowadays it is not taught to Ayurveda Acharya, and the run-of-the-mill Ayurveda Acharyas don't know Nadi Parikshana. But of course, the top class Ayurveda Acharyas cannot do without Nadi Parikshana. And I have myself come across some of them, and they have given some phenomenal information about my body just by a 2 minute or a 3 minute judgment on my nadis. So the Ayurveda section of our meeting would also be, I would surely like to join it myself, and I hope everyone else who's joining us for Jyotish would also like that. If there is a question on what I have said, I would very willingly be ready to answer that.
Yeah, I think on that front, Vinayji and Dr. Charak, you can highlight about what Ayurveda wellness is actually going to be, the tour is all about, and what will be taught over there. Especially, we are talking about the highlights of, how serious patients can also take care of it. So, would like to hear from both of you. You are muted, Dr. Charak. Yeah, you can unmute yourself.
Please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes, now you
Okay.
can speak. Yep.
See, we have had some lectures about Ayurveda in the Arshvidya Gurukulam also, and Meenakshi has arranged them also. So that is fine. What I am particularly, concerned about is that Ayurveda is not getting its due, uh, particularly from the established scientific disciplines, particularly from allopathy. Now, I am an allopathy man, and I know that Ayurveda is effective. But then the Ayurvedic people have some problem. They are not able to project themselves. They are not able to show the results to the people in a scientific manner. Somebody sits there and he says, "Oh, I have treated so many patients of diabetes and I've cured them." Fine, but then the treatment is not accepted everywhere. And somebody is treating cancers, probably effectively or ineffectively, but then nobody else knows about it. So what happened is that I came in contact with some people, and some of them allopathic people also, and some good Ayurvedic people who are willing to uh, present the principles of Ayurveda in a scientific manner, which will be acceptable to the scientific community of today. So we have, some good people who are treating diabetes, who are treating hypertension, who are treating rheumatoid arthritis, who are treating kidney disease, and some of them remarkably doing good with the cancers, malignant disease. So I have some association with this group, and then we are also starting some scientific studies which would be, acceptable, because these Ayurvedic people, they don't know how to do their research in a manner which can be published in a scientific journal today, for example. So because everything that we do in allopathy is subjected to a lot of scrutiny, and the important point in our system allopathy is that the results should be replicable. If I'm administering a medicine and for a certain effect, then somebody in USA or UK or anywhere else should be able to, produce the same results. So we are basically, forming a group where this sort of study is going on. And I have picked up some good speakers from there who will be able to not only deal with the uh, standard principles of Ayurveda, as we all know, like basic principles and three doshas and Prakriti and so on. Ayurvedic diets, how to all those disciplines which are there in Ayurveda, but also uh, present their cases where they have uh, effectively treated patients with uh, good evidence. And this would be a very good, for example, somebody has done treated a case of malignancy. So an MRI was done 6 months ago, and it shows a big mass in the affected region. And after 6 months, you do an MRI, and it has totally disappeared. So those sorts of cases, I'm particularly keen that these people should discuss and tell us about the treatment, about the system that is behind it, and present it in a scientific manner. So some challenging cases they should be able to discuss. Besides, of course, the general principles of Ayurveda and how this system is applicable, how it can be integrated with allopathy, and you know, uh, of course, the teaching of your own prakriti and so on in a practical manner. So we have 3 days devoted to that, January 16, 17, and 18, which means that it will be just after the main uh, bathing dates in Kumbh. So we'll have some time, from the this busy thing on, because you get lots of people on during the specific bathing dates in Kumbh, and those are the days when I think you can't probably conduct these courses. So we have selected uh, a few days before the actual dates for astrology, and uh, you know just a couple of days later for Ayurveda. So that I think will be quite an interesting thing, and we have picked up some very scholarly people who will be dealing with not only the basic principles of Ayurveda, but also advanced principles, and then give you uh, clues about what all can be dealt uh, with Ayurveda, and what all needs additional help, because we all know that all systems of treatment, whether it is Ayurveda, allopathy, or homeopathy, or whatever, they all have their limitations. And it is important to realize limitations, and it is important to take the help of other systems also, so that we can benefit the ailing humanity in a more effective manner. So
So,
that
Dr.
Rajiv
Charak,
Tomar is also there.
is it going to be for the beginner as well? So the people who do
Oh
not know
yes, oh
anything
yes,
about it.
oh yes. This is going to be right from the beginning, and then proceeding forwards. And everybody should be able to, I think even the non-Ayurvedic people would be able to understand what is being taught there, without doubt.
Perfect. Yeah. And what is the case for the Jyotish people? Is it going to be for the intermediate student, or it's going to be for the beginners as well, or some kind of a preparation can be done by the people who really know the basics of Jyotish?
I am going to talk about medical astrology and Prashna. I would like that people have some elementary understanding of medical astrology. We have already talked about it many times. We will these very basic principles we will like to rush through, so that we have more time to deal with the advanced things. But a basic understanding of astrology would certainly be very helpful. Of course, as I said, we shall certainly be uh, quickly going through the basic principles also. So if somebody has some understanding before that, that will be very helpful.
So Rajiv ji also here. Rajiv ji, you can, if you want to add something about the tour itself, the accommodation, food, how it is getting organized, that will give a good insight to people. If you like to add anything, Rajiv ji, you are still on mute.
Good morning, everybody. I'm really sorry I was on the road. I just arrived in Prayagraj and immediately I tried to join you. Uh, So Meenakshi ji, our responsibility starts the moment they arrive in India at the airport. Our team will be there to pick everyone if we know their flights in advance. And we are spending a one night in Delhi in a hotel known as Taj Vivanta, which is a very good five-star hotel as per Indian standards. And spending a night so that they can get over their jet lag. And next day, we have got a flight from Delhi to Prayagraj. And it's just less than 1 hour flight. The important thing is during that flight, it is only 15 kgs which is allowed. It is a domestic flight. So Meenakshi ji, that point is important. And once they land in Prayagraj, people will be there to pick them up from the airport. We'll go directly to our campsite. And we are very fortunate that our campsite is right on the bank of Mother Ganga. And from every corner of our camp, we can see Mother Ganga, especially the sunset and sunrise. They both are extremely beautiful. So it's a purely vegetarian food which will be available because as per government rules, we cannot have any non-veg food out there. So food will be simple but vegetarian. And we have got a proper buffet. We have got tents, very nice, very comfortable, cozy tents. We have got the minimum size is 480 square feet. There is attached bathroom in the tent. There is a running hot and cold water out there. There's a proper bed with a 8-inch thick mattress, proper linen. So all the light electric chargeables are there. So you can charge your camera, your telephone, your computer. So all these facilities are there within the tents. Then, as Dr. Charak said, that we'll be having his the immense knowledge he will be sharing with us. We'll be very fortunate to have such a beautiful experience on the banks of Ganga during such auspicious dates when the Kumbh Mela is going on, an event which happens once in 12 years. And millions of people come. So definitely enjoying the Kumbh Mela, meeting the sadhus, saints, sages, having one-to-one interaction, taking participate in the in the walk where the Naga sadhus are staying, just going as close as possible so that we can know about their lifestyle, their knowledge, we can exchange words. And definitely we'll be having an opportunity to have three great masters who are authority on Vedic astrology, Dr. Charak, Vinay Aditya ji, and Mr. Sharma. So it's a blessing for all of us. And so whatever time we'll be there at Kumbh Mela, then those of you who are planning to go to Varanasi, we are taking care of them out there. Those of you who are returning back to Delhi and back home, then yes, we are taking again, there is a flight back home from Prayagraj to Delhi. And then we are providing the hotel Taj Vivanta, which is very close to the airport, a very comfortable place, and then they can return home. So the moment they arrive until their departure, we are responsible for picking them up till drop. There will be always somebody from our office who will be accompanying them, and during Kumbh Mela, all our team will be available. Meenakshi ji, any other question? I think I've tried to cover. Though my
Another
voice is
question.
not giving support, but please.
Okay. One question which
Yes.
is coming again and again in the group is there is an option for virtual attendance, but I can understand that virtual attendance it's happening in the daytime. It will be quite late over here. But people are asking the question of virtual attendance. And second question which they're asking is, can you describe about the anticipated weather at that time?
Definitely, this period is month of January. In India, January month is considered as winters, but compared to US, I think weather in India during the daytime is very comfortable. We can walk in full sleeve shirts, so we don't need very heavy jackets or warmers. A light sweater is enough. And during morning hours and evening hours, yes, definitely we need a light jacket, not a heavy one, because it's chilly. So, but it's very comfortable weather at that time. You don't feel humidity, you don't feel like heat or something. And living in the, we call it luxury glamping, honestly speaking. But staying in those camp is itself is an experience.
Lovely. Any highlight on the virtual event or attendance, people who are not able to travel?
Meenakshi ji, I think we are doing the homework. We are trying to find out to how the connectivity will be because honestly, I was talking to the authorities, and sometimes some VIP comes or something, they use the jammers. So if such a situation arises, then we'll be in a very catch force situation. So we cannot promise it a virtual, but we'll try our level best. But definitely we can have a recording.
Recording. Okay. So that itself is like, yeah. So this is important point for the people to note down, that we are trying our level best for the people to be able to attend from here, while recording is getting promised more than the virtual attendance. And also it looks like the given the timing, it will be starting like 10 o'clock in India time or 9 o'clock India time. It becomes a little difficult from the people to attend the full day. You can definitely stretch yourself and be able to attend half of the day while being the virtual event if it is organized. Yeah. So I think a few. I think I would. We are at a stage we can take some questions from the audience as well. So feel free to write your questions, or you can always speak up. Another question which I have, Dr. Charak, is like from your personal perspective. Vinayji, do you like to speak something? I see you unmute.
Yeah. I just wanted to add something to what Rajiv ji has said, and that is the importance of Kumbh will be lost on those who would be joining virtually. Because it's just not a class on Jyotish or on Ayurveda. Meenakshi ji, you've been organizing them earlier also, and a lot of the students who are in touch with you, they have experienced the online classes. But then Kumbh is a different ball game altogether. The it would hit you like mad, especially the non-Indian origin people. They would not imagine that such things happen anywhere else in the world. So I would very strongly discourage people not to come. I mean, they must come to get the benefit of the Kumbh classes rather than just usual Jyotish classes.
Lovely.
Okay.
Lovely. Yeah. So, so personal insight, I think, Vinayji, that was my last question. That was like pretty much the question which I had. Like, what do you think from your side? Because we understand online session is not giving the experience of the Kumbh
Kumbh.
itself. Yeah. So, just I think.
And I would also like to add that
Mhm.
my last Kumbh was with Rajiv ji, and I stayed in the tents and interacted with a lot of other people who were his guests there. And it was a very special interaction with people living in the tent, as Rajiv ji himself has said, is quite an experience. It's like camping, yet with all the facilities. And I must mention, if there is any doubt about that in somebody's mind, there would be Western toilets available. Because in India, not everywhere the Western toilets are available.
Yes. Thank you, Vinayji, for mentioning that. I think that
Because
matters.
the first Kumbh that I attended, the organizers had not bothered about the convenience of the foreign guests, because the foreign guests can't use Indian toilets.
Good. I think we are at a stage where we can take questions. So, Rajivji, you want to add something?
No, I'm just saddened. I really enjoyed what Vinayji said, but I just want to add on. We have got a proper shower system also in our tanks. Hot and cold water is always available.
Wow.
The another thing that I want to add is that people, not only from India, from outside particularly, those who want to meet sadhus, you will have, any
Yeah.
number of sadhus and hermits and so on, and that is a very different experience also. If you it will be an area spread over several kilometers, and you will have occasion to meet uh, many mahants and sadhus and saints and so on. That in itself is a different experience.
Wow. Yeah, I think we heard about it when the Rajiji last time spoke about this, that
Yeah.
people will have an opportunity. So, I mean, I am attending in person because I am going to be in India at that time. So I will be there. But I will definitely encourage a few of the people to be able to join from here. And I see the way people are asking question about the weather and all that. And especially there is a question from the Vikramji, we would answer like, are there any enough strength phone signals to communicate back in US?
Uh, can I?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Vikramji, there is excellent connectivity, and I'm here right now. I'm in Prayagraj, and I can attend this video conferencing, and I'm feeling signal is very strong right now. So, talking with you, attending this virtual conference itself is a proof that connectivity out here is good.
I would also like to add something on a different note, and that is if you visit Kumbh, you understand the bandwidth of Hinduism. The bandwidth of Hinduism is extremely vast. All kinds, I mean, people from all kinds of spectrum, all kinds of different pantha, all kinds of different philosophies, which are all a part of Hinduism, and the larger Hinduism. There is so you realize that the Hindus are not limited to one book, one prophet kind of situation. So there are so many different ways which ultimately lead to the same experience of spiritual elevation. And you will have an occasion to talk to those very wise people who have a very different perspective of life, those who live a very different kind of life. They think about life in a very different way. Of course, money may be important for many of them, but you would have occasion to go to those places where food is being served free of cost, and they invite you so warmly that you can't refuse them. So that kind of situation and at repeated places is a very rare thing. And then some sadhus of great merit, great spiritual merit, they have lectures throughout the day, and you can attend them. Some of them are in English, or some of them may be available with translations. So the whole experience is awesome.
So, in terms of, I will say, personal insight with like you guys have visited Mahakumbh. I have never visited Mahakumbh, matlab Kumbh, from my side. So I'm excited to be able to, really see what I have heard for years. So, what kind of, I will say, the experiences which you had, like one of the thing which you have mentioned, like people are really organizing event in the small groups which everybody can attend and all that. So just highlight a little bit more about like what all happens. Bathing is one.
For me, I could say that every individual will have a slightly different experience, because not everyone would be going to the same stall or the same house or the same thing. And there would be, as I said, the bandwidth is so wide that different people will have different experiences. And I can assure you, you will be drawn to the one which is close to your heart. Without knowing you, there would be some kind of an attraction, a magnetic attraction between you and the philosophy that is being talked about. So uh, one can talk only about one's own experience and cannot put it into a capsule and deliver it to our audience today.
So there is like more of some kind of a parade happening, or also, we'll say the julus of things happening
Parade
over there.
happens only in a particular fashion, as Rajiv ji said. When the Nagas take a bath, they come like in a row. So that's kind of a parade. You can watch them from a distance. You can go near them. You can or on a separate place. You can talk to them. How's their life? Why did you become a Naga sadhu? What are your duties? What are your rights and responsibilities, etc., etc. So depending on who you meet, you will get his perspective, which would not be very different from the general experience. But I mean, I wish everyone has a different experience, and when they combine the experiences or when they share the experiences, we will make each other richer by the individual experiences.
Got it. Yeah. Another point I would like to add again from the audience, there are times when we go, we do like to have, say, a custom for myself doing some kind of a ritual, which I wanted to perform it for, say, ancestors or in general. So, do we have to do a booking for those things in the advance, or let Rajiv ji know about it? And, also feeding some of the, like, sadhus, which somebody wants to do it from themselves. How to organize that?
Okay. Meenakshi ji, this event is a very unique opportunity for all of us to really experience of such a vast which goes on which is carrying on from thousands of years. So there are schools which follow their own traditions, the sadhus who practice their path in the Himalayas, in the forest, far off places. They all come at one place at a given time, once in 12 years. And out there, they share their experiences, they practice their path. So the energy at that moment is very unique. And just to experience that energy is a bliss. Other than that, yes, we all can do rituals for ourselves, for our family members. We can do Pitru Puja for our ancestors. We can uh, practice all the paths which we follow individually. Then, other than that, yes, we can have one-to-one interaction with these great teachers, masters, sadhus, uh, all of them. It's possible. We have also got the opportunity to feed them. We call it in our language langar. In that, we can invite a group of sadhus, depending upon you, how many people you want to feed. Uh, yes, there is a certain cost to that, and we are associated with Juna Khada. Juna Khada is one of the largest, oldest, and a sect of Naga sadhus. So, if you want, I can arrange that, and there is a minimum cost which I can share. I mean, Akshiji, if somebody is interested, and you can do the charity of feeding those sadhus yourself. But the kitchen will be theirs. They are very specific about the food, what they eat. So it will be sattvic, very simple vegetarian food, and they maintain their kitchen on their own. But yes, we can um, uh, donate in the form of ingredients, in the money. Like whenever we feed a sadhu, we give a certain very small bill as a token of energy, because money in India, we call it is a energy. So there are a lot of other possibilities are there. We can, if they want, we can have a person meeting with certain heads of the akhadas. So many things. It's endless list. Meenakshi ji.
In fact, instead of you offering the langar to some sadhus, they would be offering you the langar. You can join them.
Wow.
And in return, if you feel like there is no pressure, you can donate it to their organization.
Wow.
That's
Lovely.
true.
Yeah. So there is a question coming from Vikramji asking more about the, when they can register and all that. Again, Rajivji, as we have been speaking, things are selling very fast, and, it's only a month from there, it will become very, very, difficult. So do you like to speak a little bit about that? How soon do you think that people be able to reserve their spot?
Yes, the thing is, there are two, 3 points which are there. First of all, Kumbh Mela is very much in demand. Uh, I can talk about my campsite. Uh, all the dates are getting full very quickly. So, though we have blocked some rooms for our event, so we are holding it, but it is first come, first serve basis. So, the other reason why I will request to make a quick decision and move fast, because the domestic flight from Delhi to Prayagraj and back to Prayagraj is in very high demand. Prices are increasing hourly basis, not daily basis, but hourly basis. So right now the price is, I think, something like 21,000 rupees one day. So a lot of
Wow.
issues are there. So my humble request is make a quick decision, uh, because we are talking a lot of people, millions of people who are traveling towards Prayagraj. It will be very tough to find a flight. Forget about money.
Got it. Yeah, so I have mentioned that part. Good. So I think I will just move a little bit of topic more towards what Sunil Sharma ji is going to speak about is the Nadi astrology. Is one of the interest among people is high for that one too. So little bit like Vinay ji or Dr. Charak ji just can talk a little bit about what exactly it is and how it also benefit people.
I think Vinayji would be the right person to talk about it because I am not much into Nadi astrology. But when I talk to uh, Sunil Sharma, in fact, I also invited him to this meeting, and I thought that it would be nice if he would talk himself. But he was out of station, I think, and he couldn't attend. Basically, Nadi system is a different system, slightly uh, from the one that we follow. So therefore, he would start from the very basics. And, there is something known as Jiva Nadi, there is something known as Ajiv Nadi, then comparison of Nadi astrology versus Parashri astrology. The significations of grahas according to Nadi are slightly different from Parashri. There are directional charts. There are some specific principles of interpretation which are to some extent at variance with the Parashri systems, but they are very, very effective in predictive astrology. Yoga formation and planetary relationships are different when we compare them to Parashri system. Uh, Rules of transit related to nadis will also be discussed. There will be some emphasis on the nakshatras, which we don't use too much in Parashri, and then some concepts of Jeev and Sharir planets and so on. But I think if Vinayji has to add something, please do that because whatever I have said is all that Sunil Sharma communicated to me.
Thank you, Dr. Charak. Having said it all, you are passing it on to me. There is very little left for me to say because even I haven't studied Nadi at all. But I'll just take an example. Like in Parashari, mostly we give importance to the Lagna and where the other planets are placed from there. And there are more than 100 different kinds of nadis, which means there would be a Shukra nadi, there would be a Jupiter nadi, which is called the Jeev nadi. Jupiter is the Jiva. So in that, Jupiter itself becomes the Lagna, or in Shukra Nadi, Shukra becomes the Lagna. And then you sort of rotate the chart and then see everything from that point of view, which means that if you're talking about the being himself, the body, then a Jiva Nadi system would be very good. And if it's a relationship issues, then the Shukra Nadi may give you more information. And as Dr. Charak says, um, it's not entirely so different from Parashari. If you have had good grounding in Parashari, you can far more easily understand Nadi also. But the quirk of mind in Nadi is different from the usual stuff that we do. And there is no bar. If you have learned Nadi and you're still attached to Parashari, you can combine the two. Or maybe you use one technique and confirm it with the other technique. So it would be a very enriching experience for all those people who are doing only Parashari.
I will move on to the one very quick question about again Ayurveda. As we mentioned about some of the, it will also be beneficial for the people who are passing through the chronic diseases like cancer, and the beneficial, like they can really help themselves in terms of having a better lifestyle with that. So how do you like kind of join it? What are the points which they are covering for them to be able to attend the session or get benefited with their dear ones if they are passing through?
You mean you want to know what all they are going to teach?
Yeah, in terms of like maintenance for the people who are passing through the chronic diseases
No, no,
is one of
chronic
the keen
diseases,
interest among people to know about that.
they have their own approach to chronic diseases. Kidney disease is different from liver disease, so naturally they will have a different approach. But the syllabus that they have communicated to me is introduction to basic principles of Ayurveda, history, and Tridosh theory. Tridosh is very important factor in Ayurveda. Then evaluation of Prakriti of the individuals, and then they give you an understanding of the Prakriti, and then you will be able to decide on your own Prakriti or your you know natural health inclinations. There will be a comparison of approach of in modern medicine and Ayurveda dietetics, because uh, you know whatever we eat every day, the Ayurvedic people don't always like it. Then glimpses of different traditions of Ayurveda practiced in various parts of India. Cooperative medicine, successful model developed by personalized precision health system based in Bangalore. These are people, I've got a Bangalore group, and then they are associated with other places like Kerala and Gujarat, Ahmedabad, and so on. Uh, and as practiced in different parts of the country. Then discussion of challenging cases. They have some very good uh, collection of cases which they have treated, especially malignancies with uh, uh, proper scientific evidence, and that is very nice because what normally Ayurvedic people lack is the production of evidence in a scientific manner. Then they say way forward for Ayurveda, role of policy changes, Ayurveda education, and so on, and open discussion with participants. So these are the various subjects they have conveyed to me. But I think what is important is that they will have something uh, for the newcomer to give the basic understanding of it. And uh, when they talk about the diet system and so on, some of the misconceptions that we have, we eat something, for example, we uh, use honey in tea and, hot tea and so on, but that is not what the Ayurveda people recommend. They don't want honey to be used in any warm or hot drinks. So things like that, which are common use and which can be useful in maintenance of health and so on. And then you will have some opportunity to interact with them and discuss your own problems or problems of people who are, known to you or related to you, and you know how to approach them. So I think they will have some quite important material for us. Yes, Vinay ji.
Will we, the participants in the Ayurveda class, get an opportunity to be for them to read our nadis and tell us what prakriti we have? Because rest of it is available either in their lectures or in the other books. What is not available is the expertise to find out one's individual's prakriti.
Vinay ji, I don't know whether it will surprise you or not, but Nadi reading is strictly not Ayurveda. It is from the Siddha system. So Charak Samhita or Sushrit Samhita or Ashtang Hridyam and other classical texts on Ayurveda do not talk about Nadi. So Nadi has come from the Siddha system. So these people would not lay much stress on Nadi. That is for certain.
No, my interest is in finding out one's own prakriti, whether it is through nadi or through any other method.
They'll have their own method to help you find out your prakriti, and I think they have a plan to give you a proforma which you fill up and you will be able to decide on your own about your prakriti. So they are going to do that in an interactive manner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Sounds good. I think there was one more question coming. I think it was from the Satyabandhuji, and he was asking more about yeah, there is one more question. Ashiji, do you like to speak your question? Or do you want me to read it?
Dr. Charak, this question is related to, like you mentioned at the beginning, that Kumbh happens when Jupiter is in Leo or Aquarius or Taurus, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's such a auspicious occasion, and it has connection with the position of Jupiter. And in Brahad Jataka, Varhami's equates Jupiter in Leo and Aquarius to an exalted Jupiter. So, is from your experience, do you see such results from Jupiter in Taurus as well?
Yeah. Before
I
we
don't
go
know.
to that, I think you have probably I want you to understand a little more about this. It is not Jupiter in Vrisha always. You see, Jupiter should be in Vrisha for Prayagraj Kumbh when the sun also is in Makar. For
Oh,
example, Jupiter enters Vrisha, sometime in late February when sun is not in Makar. Then the Kumbh will not happen that year. Kumbh will happen next year when Jupiter in Vrishab can coincide with entry of the sun into Makar. So that condition is important. We just last time, I think, about Haridwar Kumbh, which happens when Jupiter is in Kumbh and sun in Mesh. But 1 year, this Jupiter entered Kumbh after the sun entered Mesh. So sun was not at that time in Mesh. So the Kumbh happened next year. So it happened after 13 years, not 12 years. So it has to be the the combined this mutual disposition of the sun and Jupiter. So that way. For example, next year, next Kumbh in Nashik, for example, Nashik and Ujjain Kumbh occur when Jupiter is in Simha. But in Nashik, it is occurring in August 27, and in Ujjain, it is occurring in May 28. Both times, Jupiter will be in Simha, but the sun's position also has to be, you know, uh, uh, in the appropriate situation. So it is not just Jupiter in Simha or Kumbh or Vrishab every time. You have to correlate it with the position of the sun also.
okay. Thanks.
Okay.
And there was a question more about the schedule of this, when that Ayurveda Kumbh is happening and all that. So it's everything is available. I've already put the link over here. If you still have any further question, any customized question, you can send it to Rajivji or send it to me. I have put the email ID in the chat as well. So please note it down. And as we are recommending, kindly do, make up your mind and do the reservation as soon as possible, so that we can really find, do the prior booking for you while being in India. Okay. So I think we are doing good. If anybody have any last minute questions, we do see a lot of doctors in attendance in the
Oh,
background. Yeah.
great.
So there are, I think I can see Shivani ji, I can see Madhvi ji. They're all have an interest to know
If
more about or hear from
if
you.
there are allopathic doctors, it will be good for them to get introduced to Ayurveda also,
Okay. Yeah. So
because because they will be able to practice Ayurveda in a more scientific manner.
very interesting.
Meenakshi ji, we all are looking forward to have a very close experience with Mother Saraswati, because when these great teachers, they will be sharing their knowledge, we can feel the free flow of Divine Mother Saraswati. And I think we should not miss this opportunity to be out there. It's once in a 12 year, and this time they are saying it's a Mahakumbh. So it's an experience we should definitely have to believe in.
Yes. Yeah. So if there is no further question or clarification needed, we will not hold on to the teachers. Okay. Everybody is saying it looks like an amazing journey going to be. So thank you everyone. I think would like to close with our closing session, and we look forward to see you guys at the Mahakumbh. Look into, I think on the web page which has been created, it has pretty much all the information which you are looking for. So I will just reshare the page where this information is available. So you can go to, even on Arsh Jyotish, there is a lot of information. There are also other websites like kumbhmela.co.in. They also have other journey. If you are not able to join this particular tour, you can always join the others as well. So there's information is also there. While go to, I think I'm not sharing the screen while doing that. So here we are. So on this website you will have all the required information which you can get into, and also you can download the PDF from here to be able to look into what all is covered, what is going to be there, all the details. Further, if you have any further question, you can reach out to either of us, even Rajiv ji, and we are available. So let us know what's your plan is, so that we can help you out. Okay, with that, we would like to close the session. I just wanted to see at last minute. So thank you everyone for your nice comments, saying thank you for sharing the knowledge and the experience with us. And with that, I think I will say thank you to all the teachers. So thank you, Dr. Charak. Looking forward to see you. Thank you, Vinay, and thank you, Rajiv ji, for being here with us and sharing the experience of Mahakumbh, the prior experience, as well as the astrological perspective behind that, and the highlights of what people are going to experience over there. So we'll close with our closing mantra. Om Purnamida Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudakshate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamev Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Thank you, Meenakshi ji.
So thank you everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving over here and happy holidays, guys.